Hey, how's it going, guys? So welcome back to another Star Citizen video. If you're new channel, welcome. So this one, we're gonna be checking out another Inside Star Citizen video, the last video, and the very first video I've seen on Inside Star Citizen was checking out one of the ships, the RSI Zeus Mark II, and it was very informative. It was really great, but this video really caught my eye because of one word: weapons. And I really want to see the combat because when I saw the gameplay reveal video and saw the combat in it, it looked really cool, but I wanted a little bit deeper dive into it because I saw on Bed Bananas when he played the shooting and everything, it looked great. So this one is called Inside Star Citizen Meet the Team Weapon Content. And we'll just see what kind of weapons there are, the shooting, the reloading, and maybe what realistic features they put in and details. So I'm really excited to see what they have to say. So without anything else, let's just jump right into the video.
Welcome back to Inside Star Citizen, the only weekly behind-the-scenes docuseries showcasing the faces.
Jared Huckabee can't find his glasses. Dude, I swear to God, whoever edited these videos, they really love joking around with each other. But that's really great.
Features and forward progress.
This will be actually a fun environment to work in.
Being forged in the first-person universe of Star Citizen. I'm your host, Jared Huckabee. Now, with Alpha 323 recently out, testing ongoing for the 323-2 cargo and hangar patch, and development turning its full attention to the upcoming major milestone that is Alpha 4.0 later this year, we're in one of those periods of ISC production where we like to experiment with the means and manner of the stories we tell. Because like the developers making the very game that we're covering, we want to try new things and new ways of doing what we do. So for the next 3 weeks, ISC will be a bit different than you might normally expect. That means we're going to spend a little more time than normal getting to know the folks themselves as opposed to just what they're working on. Things like asking the UK networking team to film a sort of dev diary on those major server meshing tests from earlier this year. Chat with the level design team to discuss their process and how they're taking all those things they learned in Stanton and applying it to Pyro. And this week, getting to know some folks specializing in the implements of first-person destruction. Now, of course, the ISCs that are driven by specific feature and content work will still continue after this short detour. But we hope that you'll indulge us once again in our effort to share some more personalized stories for the next few weeks. And then, of course, we'll be back with the big flashy stuff soon enough. And don't forget, CitizenCon is just 4 months away. 4 months away. Did we just do one? So that's enough of me. Let's meet the first of 3 teams over 3 weeks that don't often get the ISC spotlight in a feature that we like to call Meet the Team Weapon Content Team. Meet the Weapon Content Team. Good old WCT. Let's just meet them.
So what's his position again?
Why have you avoided the camera in the last 5 years?
I'm a bit nervous.
How long ago did you start here?
8 months ago,
8 months
almost
ago?
9. Yeah,
How's it been?
it's been great. I like it.
How many of these do you think you've done at this point? I can't keep track.
This is the 5th.
This is the 5th one? Do you like doing these?
Yes, because I'm an attention seeker.
There's definitely more lights than I was expecting, to be fair, but it's pretty bright. A little nervous, yeah.
I used to be a life model before I came here, so
Just feel what?
life model. So once you've had people draw you naked, it's pretty hard to get awkward around it.
Looks like Harry Potter.
Anything.
Not nervous at all?
Not really, no. Not too bad.
Cool.
Depends what the questions are.
How prepared are you for this?
I have been in meetings since I walked in, and I have done nothing up until today.
Phil! Phil, be quiet! The microphone's right there! The microphone's right there in front of your mouth.
Oh man, dude, this is a really fun group to work with. And I mean, the fact that they can joke around and they make it really fun and a little bit lax environment. I get it. Maybe I did have a job once where it was the same thing. We joke around a lot and things like that. But when it comes down to business, it's business. Let's be serious. But once we get things done, or sometimes we want to lift the mood, then we'll just joke around. We'll make fun of each other here and there. So that's why I like it. It's right now actually in the Marines. When it's down to business, when it's work time, we will be serious. I mean, sometimes we'll throw a few jokes just to keep the mood up because sometimes it's long days. And when we're off, then we'll just make fun of each other or just try to keep each other's spirits up. So that's what I really like. But I did have jobs where it was just serious the whole straight time, like my supervisor didn't even have a sense of humor, so it was just horrible. But anyways, let's just keep going. Oh, I already like that. That's what I want one day. I just want to have like a wall of weapons. I mean, all I have right now, I mean, not with me. They're in a storage locker somewhere. And when I say somewhere, back home, because I know where it is. I didn't lose my weapons. All I have right now are 2 pistols, but I really want a rifle. And I mean, I just want that right there, actually. But I really want a rifle, maybe an AR-15 or something like that. Hold the hell on. What is that? Bro, it looks like a handgun with like 6 different attachments on there. Looks like a long pistol with a scope, a silencer, and a bayonet. Oh, one feature I like is right now the character has his finger straight off the trigger instead of on the trigger. So that's one cool thing I see on there. But yeah, it just looks like a pistol with like 3 or 4 things attached to it. Oh, I like this.
Aren't we a spaceship game?
We're definitely a spaceship game, but a core aspect of that is definitely the FPS side of it as well. A lot of our players enjoy flying around the spaceships, but they also enjoy the aspect of being able to be boots on the ground and exploring the world from the first-person perspective.
The weapon content team are the team that are responsible for any weapon you see in game, pretty much.
It's the team that creates the artwork and animation for Star Citizen and Squadron 42.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. If I was working in Squadron 42, like I was part of their team, I want to focus on the weapons because I really like weapons, knives, guns, everything. If you're telling me to design it, then it'll be a little bit difficult. But maybe the sound effects or like the firing or just things here and there, I would like that because for me, I can't draw or have art. So if you guys tell me like, can you come up with a new design of a rifle, I'll be like, yeah, I'll get that to you in never. But this looks like a really cool team to work with.
We make really cool looking guns. Lots of guns.
What was that?
Melee weapons, FPS weapons, large capital size turret weapons, fire extinguishers, multi-tools.
We're just a group of people that just, I guess, find firearms is the most interesting part of the 3D art space.
So it's called Meet the Team. So let's start where content starts and meet Alberto.
Lead concept artist, Alberto.
Tell me about Alberto.
I like spaceships.
He's not wrong.
I started in a mixed role in a little company in Germany called Egosoft, and there I was doing spaceships, both 3D and both concept. Then I moved here because I was always very passionate of the universe of Star Citizen.
His pathway is just insane. I think he designed, luxury yachts or something, so yeah.
So yachts, planes, everything that was not a car, basically.
Alberto is an incredible
So he has one hell of a resume. Damn, no wonder. Dude, the fact that he can design yachts and planes, wow. So, I mean, that would explain why the guns, why the firearms looks kind of similar to the ships. Because the sleekness and the design and the colors really do match. So that does explain quite a bit.
concept artist. The concept artist kind of facilitates the development of the idea.
We get the brief, the words, and we translate it to something visual. In my opinion, that's the most creative part.
Alberto's great. I mean, he's a pleasure to work with. I've only had really good experiences talking to him. He provides so little friction when working with him. He's genuinely really good at what he does. He does a lot of the problem solving for you.
What's your relationship like with Alberto?
90% pranks.
Understand what?
Pranks.
Oh, pranks.
Like what?
Flipping the screen from each other, like changing the sensitivity of the mouse when he just turn around, something like that. We really have to fight this guy.
Is that a productive use of your time, Samuel?
If I do it fast. Yeah.
if I do it fast.
Samuel's one of our newer concept artists in the company.
It's the artist one.
He
Okay.
is very excited about the project and very passionate about everything that we do as a company.
How do you think other people see Sam Brito?
Oh, that's a great question.
I would say he have this positive vibe to him. You know, he's the doctor.
Sam is fun, getting better and better. He's super young, super talented.
Absolute bundle of joy from a different culture coming from Venezuela. Lots of interesting stories and really approachable, and just overall the same things I say about Alberto. I can go to him, I can talk about what he's working on, and the concepts he provides are of an extremely high quality.
He's really keen
Wow.
to kind of start working and get a little bit more involved with the weapon side of concepting rather than just the vehicles. Every time we mention it, he's like, oh, can I do it? Can I do it? So yeah, he's super excited about it, which is great. I always kind of think that the more passionate people are about the subject they're working on, the better the results you're going to get.
I mean, that's basically how it is in the Marines too. We have like a lot of volunteers and people who are just passionate. I mean, we have one guy who is really who really wants infantry. I mean, like I never seen someone with that level of energy and passion for wanting to become an infantry officer. But I mean, that's really good because he knows what he wants and he's working really hard to get it. And the most important thing about every single one of us to get through and function as a platoon and as a company is that we're all team players. I get it. Sometimes we may have disagreements. Sometimes we may like have a little small arguments or disagree on something. But in the end, we will resolve it, work together, and help each other out so we can get through it. So that's what I really like hearing from them, is that they're easily approachable, they're easy to talk to, and they're easy to work together, which results in creating great designs of the weapons and getting a very high quality content and product out there, so that way people who buy the game Squadron 42 will enjoy it very well. I mean, I'm really looking forward to Squadron 42, but it's more than a year away. That's cool.
We've got Alexei, who's our weapons lead. He joined us a year and a half ago, I want to say. He's been a great addition to the team.
I decided to work on the video games because I always wanted to help people, not necessarily when they're already ill, because I have a medical degree, but it never worked out for me because down the line I decided that I wanted to bring happiness and not cure the aftermath of it.
Did you know that he got his degree to be a doctor?
What? No, I didn't know.
Wow.
I guess I'd like him to be my doctor. I'd probably trust him.
I really enjoyed the video games like almost anyone. But at some point it struck to me that real people do them, and I just started to look around and see what I can do, how I can start to make video games, and that's how I ended up as a 3D artist.
Very laid back guy, has a really good eye for stuff that you can so easily miss. Like he'll pick out stuff I can't even see.
Since he's joined in, the optimization of our work has just flown through the roof. He's a really valuable member of the team, and I definitely consider him a friend. He's a really nice guy.
Oh, okay. So he's the type of guy that can like spot like attention to details, and he can add just even the smallest things that can make it so much better. That's a really great guy to have on your team.
Created quite a driving force for the team across both our projects.
Alexei is okay at table tennis.
Just okay?
Yeah, he's okay.
Table tennis? Like, oh, table tennis.
We've got Talon.
I'm one of the key weapon artists here, so I work on creating the 3D models and creating the weapons, the gadgets, hand grenades, and every other kind of thing you can think of that the player might use in the FPS aspect of the game.
Talon, what I say, is a super passionate weapons artist. He's big into sort of airsoft and milsim and that side of things.
The fountain of all knowledge when it comes to weaponry.
I don't think there's anyone that knows more about guns than Talon.
Does it operate correctly? Where does it take its influences from? And I think that's really important.
He's just a great person to have on the team, nice and approachable, and always up for a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, like I said, he kind of looks like Daniel Radcliffe.
And joining him's Ben as well, who's another artist too.
What do you think other people say about you?
I'm very quiet, so I'm not sure.
Definitely the life of the party, which you wouldn't expect, noticing that after a few drinks, he's definitely the circle of attention.
He's been a great addition to the team. He's technically our newest member of the team, but he's still been here a couple of years.
I'd say in some ways his artwork is quite sometimes better than mine. He really knows his way around Blender.
He has such a keen eye for details on the weapon.
You can just kind of throw anything at him and know that you're going to get a really solid result out of it.
That's really cool.
We've got Joel. Originally I hired
Senior
Joel as a
weapon
prop artist probably close to 8 years ago.
I create the artwork for FPS devices, which includes weapons, gadgets. I also make ship weapons.
Joel's actually the most senior member of the team and was there when I first joined. He was an extremely helpful person to encounter.
Very easygoing, super knowledgeable, always has a pun ready.
He has some really strange t-shirts. Every other day he comes in with a new t-shirt with something weird on it. And I'm a bit jealous because every time I see them I kind of wish I'd had the idea of buying them. Because every time I see them I kind of wish I'd had the idea of buying them.
And yet this man is wearing a hat that says, I can be trusted with nuclear launch codes. I mean, he's got some funny shirts and funny hats as well.
I like t-shirts. This one, it's The Simpsons. Everyone likes The Simpsons, right?
What about your producer?
Oh yeah, don't let me forget Kieran. He's
Social producer.
Mr. getting things done and getting things done on time, so he's brilliant.
I quickly realized I didn't want to be an artist or a programmer. I started out in level design, and then I found out that my passion was the team.
Without Kieran, there wouldn't be weapon content because he's the guy who glue it all together, you know.
Eats a lot of eggs. Brings in about like 4 eggs a day or something like that.
To be honest, if I was actually going to be working, I would actually want his job, because the thing is, when it comes to decision making and trying to bring it together, I'd rather do that because, like I said, I have no artistic ability. So these guys like putting so much detail into the weapons and creating that, I can't really do. So I can't do their job. But however, him, level design, and he can bring things together and make it happen. That I can see myself doing personally. So for me, I would want Kieran Rogers' job.
Eggs. Brings in about like 4 eggs a day or something like that. So
Yeah, that's some good protein right there.
that's the only bad thing I can think about Kieran.
Well, I don't know about protein, but I mean, hey, eggs are good for you.
So next up is our animator Jordan. He couldn't make it into the office today, but we love him and he's great. I mean, I've been working with Jordan for years on the weapon. Since I took over, he was always there.
Jordan have a really, really shiny personality. He's the one person that you can reach out with anything related to animation. He is here to support you.
Always has a lot of like stories and anecdotes.
He's also a little bit scary because he knows where everyone lives, and it's unclear when he gets or how he gets the information he does. But when you join the team, within the first few weeks, maybe the first few months, he knows exactly where you are on Google Maps. And for that reason, he is terrifying.
Yet he can't be here to film for this.
No. Jordan, you could have been here for this. We really need you. Where are you, Jordan?
And I'm Ben, the art director. And that's enough about me, so let's look at some weapons we've been working on.
All right, here we go.
So we've got quite a few weapons that are being worked on. We can talk about a couple of them today. So first up, we're going to talk about the P8AR.
P8AR is a assault rifle that may fill the role of someone that wanted something bigger from bearing manufacturer.
Up until now, it's been our squadron exclusive rifle. In fact, I've had backers come up to me saying, please release the P8AR.
And what we want to do is take that P8 base and do a version that was slightly more tailored towards the civilian market.
A lot bigger and a little bit longer than the current P4AR, and personally one of my favorite weapons that we've ever worked on.
It is kind of more in line with civilian needs, so it's had a little bit of lightning done to it. It's had some of the more aggressive visuals tidied up a touch.
We did a redesign of the stock.
And it's had a bunch of new skins and variants done for the consumer market.
Why not just put the one from Squadron in?
The honest answer is we want to kind of hold that back for Squadron, I guess. It is one of the main weapons you use throughout the campaign, and we still want that to feel unique and special. It's one of the things that we do kind of want to hold back as a bit of a hero experience. It is the standard issue, I think is the correct way of saying it, military weapon, the UEE. It's a workhorse, it's reliable, it's functional, and it just gets the job done.
Yeah, dude, I really like the look of it and how it
So the
functions.
Bolt rifle is another new weapon that we're releasing in the PU, a brand new manufacturer.
That kind of looks like the gun in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. There was an energy weapon, and the design, kind of like the shape of it, is almost similar.
Manufacturer for the weapon content team. Volt are a electric and beam ammunition type, using electric batteries to power their weapons.
They're very techy. They feel very professionally homemade. It's not thrown together, but also it's not professionally manufactured.
This is the manufacturer who relies on cheap produced goods, but they still wanted it to look cool and shiny, but they're not really reliable in terms of long.
With all the wires sticking out and everything, it kind of does look like some like a homemade weapon, but at the same time, it does look like maybe something a company would make. So kind of like somewhere between homemade and some sort of industry would have created.
Term use.
We wanted a manufacturer where people could use these weapons and then they could also repair and upgrade and kind of, they look like you would be able to strip them down and kind of field repair them, or work in your workshop in your ship, or in your habs or wherever, and kind of really get into the nitty gritty of how these weapons work. So there's a lot of visual cues to that with, like how the screen attaches, all the little kind of fittings and screws and how it all kind of comes together, that it visually is something quite nice and exciting, I think.
There's anything like this in a PU as of now. This will suit more of the guys who wanted to show off rather than to be military-style weapons. You will have some shiny, cool gun that you can show to your friends and say, there, I did it. This is a really cool-looking gun.
Damn, dude, it's like an arc light.
I've always been a little bit opposed to very big flashy lasers and electricity on firearms. I think it can drift away from my idea of traditional firearm. But I think working within the confines of what Volt as manufacturer are, being a home-built kit that you could order online supposedly and manufacture yourself, I think really fits into the idea of it being more of a fun ammunition type.
This is still work in progress,
That's a really cool
but
weapon.
You can see the direction where it's going.
So
This
the
looks like
Car
a
SMG, this is something very different to any of our mainstream manufacturers.
This kind of looks like an upgraded version of the Scorpion submachine gun.
A very small handheld submachine gun, similar to I think a real-world example would be a Tech 9.
And the whole idea with this kind of
Tech 9, there we go.
pyro weapon theme is that these things have been made by just people living on the fringes of the universe. They've used whatever they can get their hands on to make something that works for them.
Imagine Mad Max type of gun that was scraped with everything that you can find around.
Sort of break the arc.
I mean, you can see like the cracks and like it looks like if it's broken. So it really looks like you just scavenged and salvaged everything you could find and just put it together, and the result was this.
Conventions that we've been working with for the last
Still looks
however
cool
many
though.
years.
Internally, we call them non because they doesn't have any manufacturer.
It's made by a guy named Steve.
Yeah, you can say so.
The fact that it's very compact and small allows you to hook very tightly on corners, giving yourself a very low exposure when peeking corners or peeking over cover, and has an extremely high rate of fire, so very good for those really close encounters, but I wouldn't be using it at long ranges due to the lack of a stock.
They're really quite cool weapons to work on, and look forward to using maybe more in the future.
That's pretty cool. Crossbow.
Where the hell is my crossbow?
Do you know what? Chris brought a crossbow up recently. He was like, are we going to finish it? And I'm like, well, it's kind of there. There was one thing stopping us with the way the bolts interact with stuff that we couldn't do at the time.
The fabled crossbow is an asset that we in the weapon concept team have been trying to get pushed out for a long time now.
At the point of creation this crossbow, it was decided that the bolts needs to stuck when you fire them and not disappear like any other bullet, and this prevented the release of the crossbow because we cannot consistently make the bolts stuck.
It's just a super advanced, cool-looking crossbow. It's got these really cool, like, deploying bolts
Yeah, it looks
in it.
really
because obviously, we don't really want to carry around these massive, great big kind of quiver of arrows. So it's got these really nice kind of compact little bolts that load into it.
Adding
That's
more
really
unique
cool.
firearms and ways to take out enemies silently is something that the game would definitely benefit from. And so seeing the crossbow come out into the PU would be something that made me extremely happy. And I know a lot of the players have been asking me about this too.
Not directly involved with weapon content, but still working on the weapons, audio guys and VFX guys. We're working with them directly, and they make our gun shines and sings.
I'll have done my part of the artwork, it'll have gone down the production line, and a few months later I'll bring it into the editor just to remind myself of what I worked on, and I'll shoot it and hear some incredible audio and be like, oh wow, someone's gone all out on this one.
They're a downstream team that, much like animation, it really brings to life this otherwise static and fairly boring object.
Their work is incredible. I've tried to tell them at some point I want to see them add the Lead Pipe 01 sound effect into the game, but I've yet to get an approval on that one.
Game development is a group effort. When it comes out great, it's just
what's that, Taser?
At some point of a lot of people involved into it.
You know, it is still a first-person game, and I think that, you know, the work we do is important. I hope we're a significant part of your interaction with Star Citizen.
I do enjoy it when, you know, I see people having fun and, you know, enjoying the weapons we've created and put into the, you know, the Star Citizen universe. There's a big community of people that take, you know, like in-game captures and screenshots and stuff, and seeing people take pictures of your work is really nice.
I would like people to know that the feedback they give us, especially on our team, means a whole lot.
When we see a comment come up about something with the firearms that people might not like, we do take that on board. If it's not applied to the weapon they're speaking about, we'll try and avoid it on future ones. We're always learning.
And if there has been a weapon that you really enjoy using, or is your favourite weapon, then please do let us know in the comments, because the team will love to hear that sort of feedback.
Okay.
With our recent releases, you've seen a whole bunch of updates to how the weapons feel, how they function, and really bring some of those quality and life improvements to the weapons as a whole. And that's just taken a lot of hard work from the weapons department as a whole department.
Oh, look at that handle.
Art, design, animation, audio, VFX, like the whole lot. And they've not had a great deal of limelight in these sort of events, but they're super dependable, and I'm very happy to kind of be able to get to talk about them today.
Nice, that is really cool.
So what did we learn this week? Well, hopefully we learned a lot more about the people that make up the current iteration of the weapon content team. That there's a whole host of new weapons making their way into the persistent universe. And that spaceships, of course, may dominate the conversation a lot of the time. But there's plenty of other ways to bring damage, death, and destruction to the universe of the first person being built. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for letting us share the people and process of game development with you. And we'll see you all here next week.
Personally, I really like that one. Just like meeting the faces, because I get it. There are like a lot of people that work on a lot of content in many games that the only time you actually know who it is during the credits, when you see their name scroll down. And you reach to a certain point, like who was the audio director, who was in charge of visual effects, who was in charge of this. But to actually see the faces of the people who work on it is really cool, and actually hearing from them, their inspirations and how much time they put into it, and also their feedback on their teams, to hear that they love working with who they're working with, and that is great. Now, for weapons wise, the weapons look really cool, and I can see how they had a lot of inspiration from the weapons, the modern weapons that we have right now, like, you know, Tech 9, and some of them kind of look like I said, the energy weapon kind of looked like the same energy weapon from Infinite Warfare, just a little modified. But it's really cool, and I really enjoyed this one. Just like meeting the team for the first half, and then the second half was talking about the weapons. But I'm really curious as also to more of the big weapons, you know, like rocket launchers and machine guns. But I know that maybe they'll release a video that'll talk about that. And also I'm a little curious about the attachments, because remember that remember that like pistol at the beginning, the one with the big silencer, scope, and the bayonet. So I'm really curious to see what kind of attachments there are, and maybe also the grenades. Are there going to be just regular grenades, or are there variants of grenades, flashbangs, smoke grenades, things like that? But I know that is a lot of work just to create one of them and just to design one of them. But I'm just saying like that would be really cool to hear. So that's all I got today. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I really enjoyed this weapon content. And also hit that notification bell so you know when I drop the next video. And also thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it. Shout out to all my members, subscribers, viewers. You guys are all amazing. You guys are the reason why this channel keeps on going. So thank you so much for that. So until then, I'll see you guys next time.